This is Primetime Sports, WGNS Murfreesboro, on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, and streaming at WGNSSports.com. The Prentice Allsup Heating and Air Coaches Corner, fueled by Donut Country and McDonald's Murfreesboro, on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, and streaming at WGNSSports.com.
And this portion of the Coach's Show brought to you by the law offices of John Day, providing superior legal representation to injury victims and their families. Find out more at johndaylegal.com. Joining me here on the show is Oakland head coach Dyron why I call him Dyron Bagwell?
I don't know.
Why did I do that?
I don't know. Maybe I related to Jeff.
Birdwell.
Majors.
It's a bird, not a bag. Sorry about that.
No, you're good.
But Dyron, I want to tell you, I've said this many times during the season. I know the wins haven't come like they should, but gosh, you've been in nearly every game, and we were counting up. I think like there's 6 losses in there, 7, but 2 overtimes, and nothing more than 5 points. Yeah. I know that's got to be frustrating. Release it. Here we go.
It definitely has. You know, I'd be lying if I haven't done the math. We led wire to wire in 4 games this year. We trailed for at least the entire fourth quarter, and I think it's ended up being 9 games this year, but in 2 of those 9, last night against Green Hill, we're down 2 points to start the fourth quarter. Against Memphis Business in December, we're down 4 with 2 minutes to go. But we didn't have a lead or tied in those quarters. But then I think the other 13 games, we've been tied or had a lead in the fourth quarter or overtime, and we're 4-9. And 2 of those 4 wins came the first 2 games of the year against Tullahoma and Columbia. We've been right there, like you said. It's definitely been frustrating, you know, to try to find a way to win a game. You know, we've been right there. It's like we got to get a stop, and we either can't get the rebound or can't get the stop, or offensively we don't execute, or we can't make the play. And then, you know, to your point, we've lost 3 games in overtime, 1 in single overtime, 2 in double overtime. Yeah, it's been one of those nightmare years, and, you know, you feel like maybe – postseason, it would even out a little bit here, maybe, and we could wake up from the nightmare. But, you know, that's going to be on us. We got to come out ready to play Tuesday night against Riverdale and give ourselves a chance. You know, it's definitely been a tough year. I hate it for our seniors, but hopefully these other guys that are in the program see how close we are, and maybe that'll make them want to stay in the gym, you know, 20, 30 minutes more every day in the off season whenever that happens.
Well, you did have a win over Mount Juliet, and I kind of felt like that win was going to be something to kind of spur you guys. You know, I keep looking, and maybe you do too, you're looking for that one thing that, you know, is missing, and boom, it's going to click. And then you had a tough loss against Riverdale. I mean, they shot lights out, but you guys did too.
Yeah.
That was a really good game to watch.
I thought we both played well offensively and both set the game back defensively. But you know, when me and Coach Voss talked, you know, they both shot it well. And, you know, right now when you're struggling, you feel like teams see the Oakland uniform and they get a little more confidence because they're playing, because, you know, this is one we can win. And I thought that, you know, Riverdale came out with a lot of confidence and made a couple shots early, and we were so bad in transition defense, and they took advantage of that and really made us work. But, you know, Yeshai Cobb's played really well. I think he's been in double figures our last 4 games. Started at Blackman, and then he played well, had 20 at Mount Juliet in our win, and then played really well against Riverdale the other night, and then last night I think he had 19 again. But we're right there. It's just, you know, you got to, like last night, we're right there, but we scored 5 points in the fourth quarter. Tuesday night, we're right there, but we give up 86. You know, and it's like, if we could mesh those teams together, I think we could maybe go on a little bit of a run. But it's my job and it's the kids' job to right now mesh those 2 teams and ready to play on Tuesday.
It's I guess the word is inconsistent, I guess you'd say. But those long scoring droughts, and sometimes is it shot selection maybe too?
Yeah, I do think some of it is that. I also think some of it is we're not very big and we don't have much of an inside presence to stop a run or to just go get one. So every shot is either got to be a, almost a contested shot or a three unless I draw up the perfect play. And right now that's, kind of where we have our inconsistencies. I told our kids of our starting five, all five of them have scored over 20 points in a game this year, but they've all five also scored 3 points or less in a game this year. So it's very hard to know what you're getting each night when you're kind of up one night and down the next.
Well, Malcolm, Ashley's not a big kid, but he's kind of your inside guy, I guess.
He is.
And but it's really tough because he's playing guys that are taller than him a lot of times.
He is, and Malcolm's played a lot better the second half of the year, especially in district play. I thought he played bad, and he admitted the first 2 or 3 district games, and then he has like 3 straight double-doubles at Riverdale versus Rockville and versus Siegel. He has double-doubles, and then he played well Tuesday against Riverdale, came down and rolled his ankle and wasn't able to play last night, but which I hate for it being his senior night, and he's kind of had a career of injuries, but hopefully we could get him back on Tuesday. I know he's working, he's trying, and hopefully we can get him back sooner than later and have a chance to compete, Tuesday night against Riverdale at Rockville.
Dyron Birdwell's our guest here on the Apprentice Also Hitting Air Coach's Corner. Effort is there, though. I mean, I see it every the 3 or 4 games that we've done. They don't give up, and that's why you can't count them out. They might be down by 9, and then the next thing you know, a little spurt, and they're right back in it. And I think that's what's made the losses so tight and close, because they get themselves behind, but they get back in the game. I mean, they just never quit.
Yeah, when I took the job at Siegel 9 years ago, the first thing that I said was that I don't want to coach effort and attitude. Now, obviously, you have to do that a little bit, and you have to do that in high school. But when you're not having to coach effort and attitude, you can coach basketball, and try to get yourself ready to go. And we've had some attitude problems at times this year, which has hurt us. Effort has normally been there. I didn't think it was there Tuesday night in transition, but we battled, man. You're exactly right. I've been proud of their effort. I've been proud of how close we've got, but at some point you would like to get over the hump and move forward and maybe get a win or two that you maybe shouldn't get, or that maybe your effort leads to something a little bit better. But right now it's just led to us being right there, but can't make that game-winning play.
And I guess, and I hate to harp on it, but the consistency part of it is really the key, because they don't just. It's not like they don't hold on to leads, but they don't. Sometimes they have to catch up to get to a lead, and then they can't hold on to it. Is that kind of makes sense?
we've done a little bit of everything this year. You're right. We've had leads, and another team come back and can't find a way. We've had a lead, we've blown it, we've came back, we've lost it, we've got it again, and then still found a way to lose. And then like you said, there's been a lot of games, especially Tuesday night against Riverdale, where we get down. We played first time we played Riverdale, we're down 15 in the second half, and come back and send it in double overtime. We're down, I think it got to 10 or 11 in the second half Tuesday night. We go on a run, take a 2-point lead twice with the ball. But both times when we had the ball up 2, we turned it over, which led to a layup or a wide-open 3 for them. And that's hard. You'd rather throw it into the fourth row and at least be able to get back on defense versus having a live ball turnover and allowing them to go down and score. But like you said, the effort's been there. I wish, hopefully, we could start a little better, maybe, and maybe take a lead into halftime. And I'd like to play with a lead a little bit more. Kind of see what happens.
You're playing a little banged up too right now. And I saw Wiley limping the other day after his great game at Riverdale.
He did. He came down a little bit about 3 or 4 minutes ago and rolled his ankle. He played last night. He wasn't 100%, but he battled, and I think he only had 2 points, had to take care of the ball, and Green Hill's going to pressure you full court, and he had to worry about that. But he's not at 100%, but hopefully by Tuesday he will be. And then we didn't have Ashley, and then missing a couple starters, and we've got senior night last night, so you start a different lineup. Not that that's a bad thing, because those guys played well. Landon Jarrett last night I think had 6 points for us, and Chase Bandy had 8, and we just needed a little bit more there, especially in the fourth quarter, because it felt like the whole game was in like a 4-point window up until we went into the fourth and just couldn't score last night.
And it's tough when you got a couple of scorers out. I mean, you usually have 15 from Wiley, and that's not there, but due to injury. Let's talk about the district tournament before I let you go today. Yeah. I look at it as kind of you've got Blackman and Rockville that are playing really well right now, and Siegel, and Siegel's got some injury issues. Riverdale play is always tough. You've played them.
Yeah.
And it's kind of one of those kind of toss-up kind of districts, which it seems like it is every year.
Yeah, I mean, I guess to look at it from our perspective, we've not won a game in the league, but 6 of our 8 losses have been by single digits. 5 of our 8 losses have been by 2 possessions or less. I think Riverdale we lost by 4 in double overtime, and 3 we lost to Siegel by 8 and 5 in overtime. We lost Blackman by 1, and then they kind of wore us out at their place, and then Rockville wore us out at our place, and then we go there and we've got a lead in the fourth quarter and we lose by 5. So, it's definitely, our guys should have confidence that we can play with everybody, but you also haven't beaten anybody, so you're kind of in that limbo. But no, I mean, if you played this district tournament 10 times, you may have a different winner, 4 or 5, 5 times, since everybody may get it once, but you got to come out ready to play. You got to give yourself a chance. You've really got to defend in our league, and you got to go do the little things. You got to defend. You got to rebound. You can't take bad shots. You can't turn it over and give up possessions or turnovers that lead to layups for the other team. But definitely a big opportunity for us on Tuesday, and hopefully we can keep the season going and have a shot at Blackman, I guess, on Thursday.
Few days to heal up. One last question, I guess. Tennessee, Vanderbilt. Tennessee going to put a whooping on them tonight?
I think Tennessee should play upset today anyway, after kind of blowing that game while we were playing against Kentucky. They just need seems to me like they're kind of like us when they need a little consistency, but they need a little more consistency offensively if they want to try to battle for a 1 seed or a 2 seed coming down the stretch here.
You heard it first. You didn't answer my question.
I do think Tennessee wins. I do.
That's what I thought.
I do. With it being at home. If it was at Vanderbilt, obviously they've already beat us. It might be bad.
Vanderbilt doesn't play well on the road, evidently.
Yeah, who knows?
But I'm glad they're both doing well. That's always a good thing. I want to say Bagwell. So why am I doing?
I don't know.
Dyron Birdwell has been our guest here at Oakland for the Oakland Patriots, and this portion of the show brought to you by Middle Tennessee Electric, serving our community by providing affordable, reliable, and safe electricity. Online at mte.com. Brian will be back next.
This is a paid legal ad.
Hi, this is John Day of the Law Offices of John Day. For more than 30 years, my team and I have worked hard to help injured people throughout Middle Tennessee. Over that time, we've helped thousands of people get the legal help they need when they've needed it the most. And if we're not able to help,